All right, so my mask so I can actually see what I wrote down as well. All right, so we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Jim Worthy with Press Play, Thomas Nelson Community College Podcast Hub. We're here today with Randy Trestrail, Arts Department Teaching Assistant of Adobe Applications and with video equipment, an Adobe Certified Associate in Photoshop, and the Graphics Lab Technician here at Thomas Nelson Community College. Randy, welcome to our podcast.
Jim. Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
I am happy to have you here. We haven't had enough time to talk with faculty and staff through all of COVID and everything. There's so few people up on campus, and everybody's, Zoom hours are packed. So,
Well, we in the arts department, we're still operating. We're still giving out equipment and making videos and making art. So that's good.
Excellent. Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, we have definitely shown that we keep going through. We find a way to make it work.
Right. Got to keep moving.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Let's just start with the basics. What can you tell me? Tell us about graphic arts, design media, all that good stuff.
So in the art department at Thomas Nelson, we have a couple of associate's degrees in applied science. We have a fine arts associate degree in applied science, and we have a graphic and media design degree. So, and then we have 2 career studies certificates, one in photography and one in video. So that is the art department in a nutshell. But today I was going to talk mostly about the graphic and media design program.
Cool.
Because we have some stuff going on in the summer with that.
Excellent. I mean, yeah. So let's start with the nuts and bolts.
Well, sometimes some people don't quite understand what graphic design is, and it is really critical for companies and even entrepreneurs for their businesses, because getting the visual communication right is extremely important today. There's a lot of competition for our attention. So graphic and media design, basically, they put together, they use the principles of design, and they put together formats with color and shapes and all sorts of visual design techniques to convey information or storytelling. So to communicate information visually, because we know that we process visual information a lot more quickly.
Sure.
So you have the pictures with the words, or just the pictures, can be extremely effective and really help a business promote itself.
So when we're talking about the design, so it's not just creating a logo.
Right. It's branding is more than just a logo. So it's all the pieces of branding. It's posters, it's flyers, it's title sequences for movies. It's an annual report that needs to be communicated with visuals. There infographics, just a lot of stuff. And animation, which is extremely popular today.
Right. So it's hard to wrap my mind around all of the aspects of it when it comes to graphics, because to me it's all about the two-dimensional still image, but it's much more than that. It's so the degree programs that we have here, we have how many degree programs?
We have two degrees, one in fine art, so you're painting and you're more aesthetic discipline, and not more than just painting, the fine art degree,
right?
But it's a pretty comprehensive fine art degree, and then the graphic and media design degree, and the 2 certificates, career study certificates.
Cool. with the oh shoot, I don't know where to even start. Well, let's start with the certificates because they're probably less intensive.
Right. Well, let me,
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you don't mind, let me just talk about the graphic media design.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I love learning more about it. So you talk away. I can sit here patiently, and yeah, everybody'd love to
Sure,
know
because
more.
of course the certificates are a little less heavy on all of these aspects that I'll talk about a little bit. But so the graphic and media design, you have to get a grounding in the fundamentals of design. So you'll have drawing and actually a course called the Fundamentals of Design. So you'll have drawing courses, and we also use a lot of the Adobe applications, which is pretty much the industry standard for making graphics and for video and motion graphics and that type of thing. So we use the Adobe applications, and we have a lot of equipment, DSLR cameras and lights and that type of thing. So in the graphic design, you'll get a good grounding in design and also the practical skills in the Adobe applications.
Right.
So, and, Photoshop and InDesign. So Photoshop is the editing, of course, the editing software. Plus you can do a lot of creative stuff. And then Adobe Illustrator is more in the drawing and illustration. But we also, in the graphic and media design, we do a little bit of animation with like the motion graphics, like you see on TV with the animated text and all the ads and stuff.
Right.
So we do that. We have some students that's made some really cool work in that area, and we also use Premiere Pro, which is the Adobe video editing software. So we use that too, and we also have 2 recording studios. I mean, not audio recording.
Right.
To record video and to take photographs and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we have 2 studios here on campus, and we have just a lot of equipment and lights and all that kind of stuff because lighting is critical, and that is part of the program too. This photography course and lighting course and that type of thing. So, and this summer we will be having, as part of the graphic and media design degree, we're going to have, there'll be a drawing course, one of your basic drawing courses, which you'll have to take for the degree. And there will be a video techniques course that you need for the degree and for the video certificate. So that is Art 210 is the video course that we're taking. And then the Photoshop course, which you don't need any prerequisites for, is Art 283. And that's called computer graphics.
Computer graphics. So, how long have you been involved with media and graphics?
I have been here for about 6 years. I went through the program myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after doing other things in my earlier career.
Oh, okay.
So I went. So it was kind of switch. It was a switch for me.
Right. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Because it's just how just the. Because being of the generation we are, the interesting thing, one of the most interesting things to me over the past 15 to 20 years especially, but probably closer to the last 10, is just the advances in digital. It's all computer. It's, Photoshop. All it's not just a cut and paste world anymore, or anything like that. How much? So with the you have the drawing class, and as part of the program, how much do you, for the degrees and the certificates, do you try to combine the analog and the digital? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, you get the founding, and like fundamentals of design is required for the graphic design degree, but that's a hands-on, you make things, you paint things, so you actually do things with your hands. And we also have a printing a printing course where you print on different types of medium stuff. I'm not sure if that's required for the degree or not. That may be an elective or something.
Right.
But it's a really cool course. Because more and more people, I think, are liking to do stuff with their hands. And we have a dark room and stuff right now. But so they get, you have to have the artistic side and the technical side.
Right.
So you can have a vision, but if you can't execute it in Photoshop and Illustrator, it gets pretty frustrating.
Right.
So yeah, I would say probably you get a lot more of the technical, the applications, maybe in the community colleges, than starting out in probably the 4-year colleges. That's my guess. So.
Right. And then, so the classes you have coming up this summer, what have we got coming up this summer?
So we have the video techniques class, which is Art 210, and we have the Photoshop 283, which has no, 283 sounds higher up there, but it has no prerequisites, so you can take that. But it's called computer graphics in the schedule. And then we have art appreciation, history and appreciation, which is also required for the degree program.
Gotcha.
So, and we have drawing 121, art 121, and art 131, which is the fundamentals of design. Now that's all in the summer, and I think they're all completely still online right now.
Right, and that was going to be my next question, because I know that, as a college, you're trying to figure out if we can have bodies back on campus in the fall and not.
But we do give out the equipment. We do see the students. They have the opportunity to come to the lab because we have the lab and use the computer because we have a huge room where people can be very far apart. So if you don't have a computer that has the processing power to use some of the Adobe application, which it takes a lot, especially for video and motion graphics, then we have MacLab available for the students.
Excellent. That's what I was going to ask, if the programs, the Adobe especially, if they were compatible with what your average student might have in terms of laptops and.
Right. Well, we just had a video. Well, we still have a video course in process right now, and the students have been pretty good. They've produced some pretty nice motion graphics with what they have with their laptops. But the more intensive stuff and the bigger files and stuff, you got to come in to render those on the larger machines and stuff. And plus, we provided Mac laptops to anybody that had pretty good processing power, to any of the students that needed them. So
right. What else? What else have we got? So for what sorts of, I don't want to put the cart too far before, but so students go through our program and they get either their certificate or their associate's degree. So what are they able to pursue from that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So they can, a lot of them will go on to a 4-year college, they have a graphic design degree at ODU. They have VCU, of course, is an excellent art school, so they can go on to continue their degree. But as far as the skills are very much in demand for small businesses and larger businesses, like we talked about before with the branding and the identity and the information and the storytelling that so many companies want and need. So people need really great designers, and it's, if you don't have a good designer with your company, you're going to produce a lot of probably likely low quality visuals and a lot more of them.
Right.
But if you have really high quality visuals, you can have less of them. They'll have more of an impact. So, if you don't have A lot of people make videos today and make a lot of stuff with applications and stuff. And, some of it's okay, but if you really want to make some high quality visuals, you need a grounding in art and design. I mean, there's just, or you can wing it.
Right, right.
So, yeah, there's just a lot of competition for your attention. So you want to make some really good stuff.
Right. And how important, I mean, obviously it's important because, every company, they have to advertise, they have to have, it's not just, they have to capture attention, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have about 5 seconds to capture when people land on your page, or you have a piece of content or something. So you have about 5 seconds to grab them. And if you don't have the right visuals and the right design, people will just pass you by.
Right.
But it takes a lot of practice to develop those skills. So yeah, it takes. So I had a couple of other cool stats here. But,
oh yeah.
So 94% of the first impressions, like when you go to your website and stuff, or other places for your content, is based on the design and the visuals.
94%?
Right.
Wow.
Of the first impression. So, when people hit there, it's got to be good. It's got to be compelling. Yeah, and you think people are reading less and less, but and visuals are very important. But what people are really doing is they're kind of scanning headline. They look at headlines,
Sure.
but headlines matched with visuals. So they have to decide whether they are going to read it or not, based on those two things a lot of times. So your visuals got to be really compelling to get them to read the rest of your stuff.
Right. So it's not just a catchy headline. It's how it, it's literally how it looks.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Good Lord, what else have we got?
Okay, so I was going to.
You can hit me with everything. Okay. I am here to be a sieve, just like the students. I mean, this is graphic arts, graphic media design. All of that is something that it fascinates me because my background is in theater, so I'm used to all live, and scenic design and costume design, and so I understand elements of design. But in the digital world, especially, that it's not necessarily just bigger and bolder. There are more refinements, but it's all about catching the attention. And I know that for anything to thrive, especially like I said, the live theater, the live elements, you've got to be able to almost. In my brain, you have to transfer the feeling that you're going to get from that in that live production. You have to get that excitement out to the folks,
right? To draw them in.
Exactly.
You
so
communicate the essence of it, and
right. Yeah, so the more you want to tell me, I can sit back and just listen all day long.
Well, I did want to say that there are. We have all types of students. Of course, I was an older student when I went back, and there were a lot of people in my age group. So I met some really great people. We have a lot of vets, and so it is. And the dynamic between the younger people and the older people is really good.
Right.
I really enjoyed being around them, and so you help each other out. So I thought it was just a lot of fun, and I just learned so many new skills with all the applications and stuff that I really enjoyed it. So I just wanted to make sure that people knew that there's all age types, and I think that people use it also for there's a lot of people doing their side things and their photography and their videos and that kind of stuff, and it can really help it can really help us, like a small business and stuff too.
Cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Or
Excellent.
somebody in your small business that could do it.
Right. I hear, because you talked about, again, the more fundamentals, the drawing classes and things like that, that I've heard students, traditional students, non-traditional students, they have this thought, well, I'm not artistic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you can learn to draw. It just takes patience and practice.
Right.
And there are probably designers that use the programs exclusively, but graphic design, if you're an excellent drawer, I mean, you're really getting it right and using your graphic design and stuff. But a lot of graphic design too is just like putting the components together. It's communicating information visually in an effective way. So it's about communication.
Right.
And
Okay.
really communicating well through design and stuff. So if you've ever had a like a smooth experience with an app, or if you felt like you've had we're going to have a seizure because that's what's bad design.
There you go.
know?
Yeah.
But really great design with applications and stuff and processes is if you hardly notice the process at all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Where you just it's just something that you just slide right into, and you're comfortable interacting with it, and you don't have to sit and try and figure it out.
So also in the graphic design degree, the students leave with a portfolio. They either have a portfolio website or they have a PDF portfolio. So that's really awesome that they leave with a fully completed, built-out little website that they can send to a prospective employer.
Yeah, that's exciting. Just
and they have to do their resume and their business card and that, the traditional stuff too.
Right. So they truly walk out with a substantive, a concrete result of their work that they can show. This, it's not theoretical. This is what I can do. They can show what I can do. Right,
because you have to, more and more, you have to have a really great portfolio as proof of your skills to get into art, and especially really good art schools. You have to have a really great portfolio of your work. So they collect all their different projects through all the different courses, the drawing courses and the fundamental design courses and the photography courses and the graphics courses, and they collect them all and they put them in their portfolio at the end. So they have to keep all those organized. So
excellent. Well, if there is more you want to talk about, I am more than happy to hear. If we want to wrap this up, we can wrap this up. I know there are so many. You just talked briefly about all the different components of it all. If we find in the future that you want to do something more regular and be able to speak to students more, or if you find that students are going, hey, I want to learn more just through I like listening to you talk about what you got going on, we can make that sort of stuff work. Randy, I really appreciate you being here for this.
Let me just wrap up by saying, just again, saying we have some courses in the summer. Not all of them require prerequisites. We also are in the summer, along with our Photoshop class, we're going to have like a one-day workshop on the Adobe certification exam.
Oh, cool.
So it's Adobe Certified Associate, so how students can prepare for that. And that's just proof to an employer of their skills in the applications.
Cool. So, that's nice.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to email me or talk to me about the program and stuff, I'm happy to do that.
Sure. And for those of you listening on the podcast, and we'll try and get it up when we upload video as well. But we'll have Randy's email address in the description for the podcast, and any other contact information, a link to the page on the website, because you also deal directly with the school's website.
It's not. It's the
the
Thomas Nelson Visual Arts website.
Gotcha.
We can have a link to that because we have like a one scrolling page with all the degrees and all the courses
Right.
in each degree.
Yeah.
So, so just contact me and let me know if you want to talk more about it.
Cool.
I love it. It's so much fun. It's fun work, but it's hard. You got to learn.
Right.
You gotta
Right.
Put your head to it.
That's all right. That's why we're here, right?
Okay.
Randy, thank you again so much. This is Randy Trestrail with the Arts Department Teaching Assistant and the Graphics Lab Technician and Adobe Certified Associate in Photoshop. And I'm Jim Worthy with Press Play, the Thomas Nelson Community College Podcast Hub. Until next time, thank you all. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate you.